if it's funny when you watch shows or things, kind of even what you were saying, Risey, how they somebody went and looked at Christmas Carol again and kind of broke it down, and it wasn't a thought. It's when you go look at history and how things came to be, how breakfast came to be, and a glass of milk and orange juice, and it's like, well, Big Milk had a plan, and Big Christmas had a plan. It is a capitalistic holiday. It's strategically placed the way it wasn't this way 100 years ago, 150 years ago, right? It was, you got fruit, you might have got a pair of clothes or new socks, you made stuff. It was a gift. Now people go in debt, and that's the expectation. These commercials and all this stuff. Every kiss begins with K. What up is Three Brothers No Sense, your favorite barbershop style podcast. This your boy Ferg, join my co-host Buff and Risey's. Fellas, what it do?
Let's see here. The Reckoning. The Sean Combs documentary. It's out. It's trending #1 on Netflix. Executive produced by 50 Cent. And it's I know some people were saying, they're not gonna watch it. They feel like they know everything. I ain't know everything. So I watched it. And I'll say this. There's a lot of bad stuff out of there. The one non-sexual allegation that just made me say, like, damn, is, I have to call it an allegation because obviously I don't know. And if you plan on watching and you wanted to random surprise, like, step away from the podcast for a sec. But that funeral he had for Biggie in New York, he saw the cost and was like, oh, shit.
We're going to charge that to the artist.
The estate of Biggie. Yeah.
Damn. That.
Why not change your mind and say, let's just have it in a church instead? I thought that was, again, allegedly, if it's true, I thought that was pretty cruddy among other stuff. Also, the only other point I'll point out, because I don't want to give away it all. I know people plan on watching it. Eric Sermon, you let us down, brother. You had a chance to possibly change his life and a lot of his alleged future victims' lives. All you had to do was whip his ass. You had every right to whip his ass. Instead, you let him drive you around the corner and play Ready to Die for you. Now, beat his ass, then listen to Ready to Die. That ass probably could have changed the course of his life. It probably could have told him, damn, I really can't do whatever the fuck I want to do. There's consequences sometimes. Let me chill. So
there was a lot of enablers around him based on that.
Even one of the people that's on there, who he called his own self out. He said, you know what? That might have been the beginning of my protecting him or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. You're right on that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm gonna step off of it then.
No, you.
Them only two nuggets I wanted to.
I mean,
I'll throw it in there. The biggest one for me was the potential of him being involved with Biggie's murder. They kind of alluded to it and basically said that while he might not have caused it, it was like he forced Big to stay. Big was supposed to be in the UK, and he was like, nah, we gonna stay here in California, knowing that they're not supposed to be there. There's folks out there to get them and everything. So, I mean, I don't know if he had a hand in it, but at the same time, he has a little bit of responsibility in it.
So for me, I didn't get that, but I am seeing people draw that conclusion. I took it as him wanting to kind of, in a way, dance on Pac's grave, in the sense that, you're not supposed to be in the West Coast, but you want to throw this party. You want to be able to say, not only did I come to LA, I came here and pop bottles. Nobody touched me.
Mm-hmm.
And my artist that y'all hero was beefing with was here with me, and we did our thing. We had an album release party on your turf. So it's
that's what I mean by like
we talked about flag planting last week.
That's exactly what that was.
Flag.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like I don't think he called in to hit on him.
It's funny that people.
I think it really was just that
Puff was soft though. Like if you just think about
Puff personally was soft. I'm got some internet stuff. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay. What I was trying to say was, like what you said, I don't think he like called in the hit on Biggie. I think he holds some responsibility for exactly that fag planning, that and that
decision making.
Yeah, very poor decision making on it, and so I think that's what kind of was eye opening there, that Biggie could have been in the UK instead of being there, like flag planning and like trying to flex on California and the West Coast there. So that's the biggest one on it. That I was talking through.
You were saying something, Ferg?
No, I'm just the fact that it's crazy how 20 years later, well, 20 plus years later, everybody thought Puffy was soft. But like, it's amazing. This dude was the devil.
Yeah, but he was soft physically, like, and that happens a lot with a lot of guys like that, right? Like they talk about little man syndrome or whatever. Like Puff not gonna fight, but at the same time, if he does, he's gonna fight dirty. Like when he does fight, he fights really, really dirty. He'll have somebody else there with him. He's gonna do whatever he needs to do. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like somebody else gonna pull the trigger. He don't necessarily have to be the one.
Even that, did you see that being Puff?
Yeah, I think that's what Ferg is saying. Like
the dude's name was Puff.
Yeah.
Puffy. Yeah. Puff Daddy.
But that was like people talked about that. Like he had that mean streak in him, and like he didn't take stuff, and he was mean and evil and all that. Like you heard that a lot, but nobody believed it. I think that's what you're saying. Like from a persona standpoint, nobody would believe that. He was real good about presenting.
I feel like all that came out later, though. I feel like they came out later, and then it was kind of that, like you said, the little man syndromes. Like he has a mean streak, he's just angry. Like it's just, you know, the dude had an S curl and dancing videos and wore leather suits. I just couldn't, or pleather suits or whatever. I just couldn't, you know, take him seriously.
So the documentary covered a lot, but for whoever can get Farnsworth Bentley on camera to talk, there is still room for whoever gets Farnsworth Bentley to talk.
Have they seen him?
That
I haven't seen him since the I Like the Way You Move video. I ain't seen him since that video, bro. All I know was he was Diddy, and then he got away from Diddy with Outkast for a minute, and I hadn't seen him since. The only other thing I got, though, completely changing gears, is some of the listeners know a couple of years ago we went to a fight, a very important fight in Vegas 2 years ago. We saw Bud Crawford and Errol Spence for the undisputed welterweight championship. And even though I didn't root for Bud that night, I appreciate how he's standing on business right now. A lot of people don't know this in boxing. Those belts that they win, they have to pay sanctioning fees to keep those belts. So if you don't pay your fees, you get stripped of the belt, and it goes, that commission picks two fighters to fight for it and win the vacant championship. Like once Floyd Mayweather became a huge star, he didn't care about having belts. He wouldn't pay the sanctioning fee. He would immediately let them strip. So Bud is, well, first off, the president of WBC kind of called Bud. Keep in mind, Bud is a tough man. He just beat the shit out of Canelo. And this dude gets on here and says, Bud didn't pay his sanctioning fees, and he didn't even thank us. And Bud said, man, who the fuck you think I am? Apologize. He said, man, take your belt. I don't need your belt. He was like, all the other commissions is 4 major belts in boxing. It's 4 major belts, plus there's this one belt called the ring belt, which everybody recognizes above the other 4, because the ring belt says, I don't care how many belts are in this division. To us, you're the champion. You're the champion. Anybody else who got a belt, that's cool, but you're the champion. The ring belt, they charge no commissioning fees, but the other 4, they do. He said the other 3 of the 4 major organizations charged him one price. The WBC was trying to charge him a lot more. So he was like, no. And so I just appreciate him standing on business, because I always thought it was silly for fighters to have to pay to have their own trophy that they won, which is a belt. So I like that. Bud, that dude, man.
I didn't know that.
Dude. Yeah, he's that dude.
So they have to keep pay even if they like lose the title, like just to have the belt to say that I had the belt, or you're saying that they have to pay as long as they have the title, like if they're the champ.
Long as they have the title. Yeah, long as they're the champion. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because they keep like the belt, right?
Yeah, they keep like even once they lose, they keep like just like
a commemorative belt.
A Super Bowl trophy. Like you still keep your trophy even if you lose the next year. To be fair, the president of WBC says that those fees go to retired. It goes to a retired fighters fund. I call cap. We have seen plenty of boxers go broke. I have never heard a retired fighter say, "Man, thank God for that retirement fund." I've never heard that. So he's gonna have to come with something better than that. I would love for it to. I think fighters do need some type of damn 401k plan or something. But
how much money are they talking? I mean, it can't be at that much.
Bud said BBC wanted 300,000 plus another 100,000. And I don't even know how often they have to pay that. I don't know if it's every month or whatever like that. But the WBC is saying, hey, you just won $50 million against Canelo. First off, don't be counting my pockets. Second, we know it's not truly 50 million. Third, he has to pay his trainer. He has to pay a whole bunch of other people before he sees that final check. But don't count his pockets.
Yeah, okay. Don't be counting my pockets.
Yeah, in fact, you're right. Yeah,
you went the long way around. Don't count my pockets. It's 300,000. And the thing about the reason I asked how much was it is because with all the retired boxers, how much money really is there to split? You got
and does everybody get the same?
Is it only former champions?
Right.
Like is it because if I'm a random boxer and I ain't won no title, I ain't paid into this.
You never generated any real money for the sport.
Yeah.
Now you think you finna get
or my money's going to this title, right? Like I didn't win a WBC title to pay 300,000. I was 2-14, and I got a headache. Somebody need to pay.
So it was just cool to see him kind of, as they say, clap back. That's all I got though, man. Diddy and Bud Crawford.
Well, let's throw a couple other shout outs in there then. Boss Man D-Lo. So first nigga in history to catch a shark, get put to sleep, and catch a basketball game-winning basketball at an NBA game, all in the same day. This dude, like, it was crazy. So he went fishing, caught a shark. 3 hours later, a escort, we'll call it that, an escort went live on social media and was just like, yeah, I put him to sleep. Who's next? Or whatever. So he got put to sleep. And then he went to the basketball game that night and caught the game-winning basketball after, a slam dunk. So all in one day.
What is your algorithm?
Bad. Or us.
What the
Star? It was on World Star. That's why I saw it. It was just on World Star.
Dude, you're way too smart to be this random.
He caught a shark. So there's somebody out there that caught a shark and caught an NBA basketball, but they didn't get put to sleep. Is that what you're saying?
2 out of 3. Or it happened in the same day, right? It happened in 2 days span.
Continue, my brother.
Yeah.
Continue.
The other two are a little bit more serious, talking about the IRS. So this is another one that y'all might laugh at. The IRS, they're going to be agents now that have to watch OnlyFans because of Trump's no tax on tips. And they were trying to decide what is a tip because OnlyFans is essentially tips, right? They're tip based. Also, not the subscription side of it, but people tip. So you give stars and stuff on social media, yada, yada, yada. OnlyFans has a tipping mechanism. So they're trying to say, should those people be taxed on those tips? Initially, it was only that like they didn't have any carve outs or anything in the bill or in the but what ended up happening was they carved out and said no porn in there. And so the IRS agents are having to watch OnlyFans to see, is it considered porn or not? So is it just me clapping cheeks? Is it foot pictures? Those types of things. Is that considered porn? So if I'm not actually getting naked or not having sex, it's not considered porn. So I shouldn't be taxed on the tips that I got on my OnlyFans. So there's literally agents now that are going to have to sit and watch OnlyFans to decide what is considered non-taxable and what's taxable. No, all of it should be taxed for it. Just the silence. All right, and moving on.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here no more. I want to be here no more. The fact that, and tax them. Hopefully it deters some people and realize they need to do more with their lives. But I mean, you got to think. back in the day, there's softcore porn. Still, are they only saying hardcore, or they're saying
That's what
anything?
they're trying to figure out. That's why they're watching to
Tax
have
them.
use cases.
Who do I need to send a text message to or sign a petition? Tax them.
Just tax them in general. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like,
you know what? I forgot what I was watching, and it was like, but my new look on life is bring back shaming. It's like, we shouldn't be hoe shaming. You should be ashamed that you're a hoe.
touche.
And so,
touche.
he actually said it about fat shaming. So he said we should be fat shaming. You should be ashamed because you're fat. That's where I'm at now. Tax them.
Man.
Why are we protecting people? Like, why shouldn't they be taxed on
foot pics? Like, if you're just taking feet pics, why would they be taxed?
Why wouldn't you be taxed?
Because there's no tax on tips. Donald Trump said it. Donald Trump said no tax on tips, and so that is considered a tip. I'm just saying. So anyway, and finally on my IRS tip, I want to shout out to Elizabeth Warren and Bill Cassidy. They brought a bill called the IRS Math Act, and what it does is it forces the IRS to tell you if you made a mistake, tell you where you made the mistake, and how to fix that mistake, so that people don't have to go and get lawyers and stuff like that, or tax accountants and tax attorneys to figure out where they made a mistake on their taxes. So that's actually a really, really good thing for, I'd say, medium to high net worth earners. I mean, if you're taking standard deduction, that doesn't really matter to you. You're not really making many mistakes like that. But people who are deducting, not taking the standard deduction, and those types of things, it really is, it gets kind of complicated and kind of hard to file your taxes. So business owners, things like that, that's a really, really cool thing that they actually got through. Trump signed it and everything. So shout out to them and the IRS. I think this coming tax season, you'll start to see that being put into effect. So if you mess up on your taxes, the IRS has to tell you what you did wrong instead of just saying, nope, you were messed up, go figure it out there. So that's all I got, man. Just want to throw that out there, too.
There's so much to talk about that I don't want to talk about. What am I willing to talk about, I guess?
We don't want to go into headset anymore. Beat that dead horse.
I mean, him and the Admiral?
Yeah. And how the Admiral came out and said that Pete didn't say kill them all. I'm like, I don't believe it, but okay, if you say so there. So I think the Senate's going to launch an investigation and we won't get any information on it.
Well, he's willing to testify, but that's... What's his name? Admiral?
Which one? The Admiral that
the recent resigned because he said he was going to fire on the ships or the...
Yeah. Hold on, I got it.
Can't keep it with it all. I've actually taken a break from the news. It's been just
Admiral Halsey. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say more depressing than usual. It's just more usual than usual, if that makes sense. So
what do you mean?
It's too much. It's too much to keep up with.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's just it's all negative. It's just all just. It's just like, it's just a shake your head. So I will say that I have been watching on, oh my God, I can't even think of his name. It's been a long day. There's another series on Netflix that I'm watching talking about the Cold War. And it's just really eye-opening because there's so many similarities to how, first of all, Germany and the Nazis started and Stalin and the things that he did. I mean, Trump is no Stalin so far. Stalin was gangster. Stalin is up there with Hitler, and people don't give Stalin enough credit. But it's just listening to it and the political atmosphere in the U.S. around communists and all that stuff. What's this guy's name? Is it Coyne? That was like Trump. Oh my God, I gotta look it up again. I had it all written down. I don't know what the stuff is, but he was also like one of Trump's original mentors. It's just
you talking about one of Trump's mentors? You talking about Roger Stone?
Was that it? Was he one of the guys that was going after all the communists? He's a lawyer, right? I'll find it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know Roger Stone and Trump's first lawyer. I don't know if it was his first lawyer, but one of his first lawyers is who he got his whole style from. Like,
yeah,
he told him like, you never admit you lost.
That's exactly that's who it was. That's who it was.
Okay,
I can't think of. I'm gonna find out who it was. I took notes on it and I just can't remember where I put it. But just watching it, I mean, and they say it in a documentary. It's like, yeah, and then he was Trump's dad. Pretty much hired him to mentor Trump and get him into the political so he can understand politics. And basically, the dude was during the late 40s, early 50s when they were looking Cold War, beginning the Cold War, and they was going after all these communists and all this stuff. He was leading the charge, basically saying just going ham, no facts, just, and it just as I'm listening to him, I was like, this sounds just like Trump. And then it's like, yeah, and later on, Papa Trump pretty much said, hey, mentor my son, teach him politics. And he became one of Trump's mentors and hung around for a while. It's very scary because all of these great empires, these nations, formerly great empires and nations, started off like we look like where we're starting off now, with a slight roar, with some fear and this hope for this better future.
Was it Roy Cohn?
That's who it was. I was, yeah. I knew you were gonna look it up, and I can't remember the name of the show, but it was. I can't. Like I said, it's been a long day. I don't even know how we recorded today, but it's. I had to take a break because I'm like, this is heavy. It's very heavy, but outside of that, it's the holidays, baby. Y'all start doing y'all holiday shopping, all your stuff yet? Anybody?
I'm almost done, bro.
Oh man, we ain't even started. We put a list together.
I got a few things. I got to get the kids their big things, their big gifts, and then the little stuff on the side. But at least I got a plan. Ideas of a plan at least. So
I have a plan. I plan to spend a lot of money.
Are you strictly online, or you still like to go in person?
I do online for like the stuff that I'm buying for the kids and that type of thing. But we still go in person, especially for when the kids are buying gifts for like their cousins and all that, the little $5-10 gifts, because we got a million cousins and everything. They like to go and get stuff for that. So we'll go do that. But that's just an afternoon or something. But that's it. That's all the in person I like to do. I did see that, Black Friday, they had a record number of people or record number of sales for Black Friday. Then they came back and they said 95% of that was financed. So that lets you know the people are hurting and the people are still going out getting stuff. And it's a raw dollar amount. So what a lot of economists are saying is that, yeah, it was the most spent, but at the same time, it probably wasn't the most like flat purchases, right? Like actual assets that people are getting. So that's the other part about it, man, is I think a lot of people are hurting really, really bad and they don't care, and they're just kind of going through into the holidays. And I think I can't remember if it was Buff or you Ferg that said, reminded everybody that you don't have to go into debt. You don't have to spend all this money to on these holidays, and you really need to think through tightening your belt if you're going into like a lot of debt to keep Christmas or whatever your idea of Christmas is. Don't be materialistic. Chill out and just kind of make it a normal Christmas. It was funny, I was watching a breakdown of the Christmas Carol, and they talk about Scrooge and how everybody thinks Scrooge is just cheap. But if you really think about, Scrooge wasn't cheap. Scrooge was cheap, but Scrooge wasn't mad at other people for, like, he wasn't trying to get them to do things and then he take advantage of it. Scrooge was just cheap. Like, Scrooge was cold in the room with everybody else, right? He lived in squalor and in a regular house and apartment. It's not like he had a mansion and he's telling everybody else, y'all should work on Christmas. He was going to work on Christmas too, right? So it's one of those things that Scrooge, this idea of, a lot of people are still Scrooge. A lot of people are like mad at other people because they don't follow whatever they think Christmas should be. So just kind of think about it like that too, and just make sure that, don't be Scrooge. Don't judge other people, and don't try to sit and force what you want on other folks, right? If you want to go big on Christmas, cool. But if somebody's like, look, I'm struggling, I'm not going big on that, don't judge them, don't push on that. Don't be like, make them feel bad because, like, oh, them babies need, a new PlayStation and this, that, and another on Christmas. It's like, I ain't got that right now, right? They're gonna get a PlayStation 4, old PlayStation 4, and be happy with it, or just a new game and be happy with it. Or if I can't even do that, and it's like they're gonna get a bike and that's it. They get a bike and that's it. Like, don't go into debt for any of this stuff.
Debt fears. I mean, now we're Christmas shaming. I mean, you can't give people any. We're at a time in history where nobody wants to listen, and you can't give anybody advice.
We also got to try to speak to the root of it too. I don't know. Yes, some of it is materialistic, but I think people don't want to feel bad. And like, it's easy for us to say, don't buy this person something if you can't afford it, because we're detached from that, whatever relationship or situation they're in. But a lot of people feel obligated and feel like gifts equal thoughtfulness, which equals love and stuff like that. So you got to speak to that and just let people know, listen.
Well, I get it.
If they're really your family like that, then they can understand. And that's the other part too. Sometimes people are too embarrassed to admit they can't afford it. It's a whole lot that goes into it, and we beyond like, yo, you shouldn't be spending what you don't got. Like,
and it's a cycle too. I mean, this is the norm. My mom and dad were broke and they made it happen. We never miss Christmas, and we got more than they do. So my kids ain't gonna miss Christmas. It's. I mean, you're right. It's the root of it. Once again, it's cultural. And I'm not saying it's a black white thing. It's just ingrained in the American culture where it is they. If it's funny when you watch shows or things, kind of even what you were saying, Risey, how they somebody went and looked at Christmas Carol again and kind of broke it down, and it wasn't a thought. It's when you go look at history and how things came to be, how breakfast came to be, and a glass of milk and orange juice, and it's like, well, Big Milk had a plan, and Big Christmas had a plan. It is a capitalistic holiday. It's strategically placed the way it wasn't this way 100 years ago, 150 years ago, right? It was, you got fruit. You might have got a pair of clothes or new socks. You made stuff. It was a gift. Now people go in debt. And that's the expectation. These commercials and all this stuff. Every kiss begins with K. I'm pretty sure you're going to see a K commercial tonight at some point. Right?
I already see them. Yeah, I already
it's marketing. And it's I have a close friend who's in marketing, and there's neurolinguistics. Like, it's this whole thing. It's a psychology to get people to spend money.
Color schemes, everything.
Yeah. Songs, memories, smells, all that stuff. So I don't know. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
You're up.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I got it. Okay, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna talk through this, and maybe we've kind of hit this before, but maybe it's this time of year that almost makes me go here. Have you say you guys have done your Christmas shopping? Have you told your loved ones what you wanted for Christmas, Razzie?
I guess, yeah. I made a list. It's called My Registry. I use that, and so I just share that list.
For you?
You have a list?
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man. The reason I ask is Z and I were talking today. Skylar, congratulations, babe. Or baby. Because my wife she goes by babe, and she hears that, she gonna get upset. Because she's like, only one of us can be babe. But Skylar was nominated again for a Jaguar leader for her school. This is every year they nominate kids who show exemplary behavior, leadership skills, and stuff like that. So every year since she's been at between the two schools, was first Hoover Hero, now Jaguar leader, she's always gotten it. So she's a fifth grader now. This is her last year at Joel, so this is her last year getting to be a Jaguar leader. And found out about it Monday, and asked me could I go. I had a meeting, and Z was going to try to take off, but it was a blackout day or something like that. So Sky didn't think about it was coming, and so she was really sad. And part of me was like, if that's the toughest thing she has to go through this year, she'll be okay. Right, she knows we go to everything we can go to, and if we can't make it, we just can't make it. And of course, I found a way to drive back across town put my meeting on, make it a Teams meeting, and I had somebody else take over the meeting for me, so I was just gonna listen. So I'm at her little awards banquet thing or awards lunch with my headphones on, attending the meeting, chiming in when I had to, but at the same time being there for my daughter. When she saw me, I bought her flowers and cards and stuff like that and lunch, so she was super happy. I say all to say, she was really saddened or would have been disheartened if we wouldn't have made it. She would have understood. But growing up, I never expected anybody to. I never expected anybody to be there for me, and never asked really, because he's like, yeah, maybe she should have learned that lesson or something like that. She like did your mom go to all your stuff? I'm like, no, but I never asked. My mom probably didn't even know I had the things, and it's like I didn't even know how to let somebody be there for me, and it made me think like, do you know how to let people be there for you? Do you know how to let somebody do the things that they want to do for you, or even ask or expect? Because it's Christmas. My birthday's next week. What do you want for your birthday? I don't know. My follow-up question is, what do you want for Christmas? Right? Like, okay, you asked me about me. We'll figure that out. But what about you? Do you know how to let people show up for you? And how do you let people show up for you? Not like in a way you like, how do you allow that? So this is more so for me. Like, help me.
It's hard, bro. I'm really bad at it. So to your question of I really don't let people show up for me, right? They have to force their way in. That's usually, I mean, y'all know it, right? Like I'm not gonna ask for help. I'm not gonna ask for you to be there. I'm not gonna ask for things, right? And it's I know this sounds like a flex,
And hold
but
on. Take help out even off the table. Like, help is to me, that's a whole nother thing. Like somebody saying, I want to do for you. Maybe that is help, but it's just like, hey, we've celebrated you. You've had some big wins lately. You downplay it a lot. Like, hey, do you want us to come there? Do you even know how to ask people to celebrate and be there for you, or let them be there for you in that way? And
yeah,
gifts and stuff is a part of that. Like, that's why I asked about Christmas. Like, I don't even know how to, what do you want for Christmas? I don't know. I'll probably buy it.
And that's always the problem that I run into is, and that's what I was saying about, it might sound like a flex, but if I want it, I just buy it, right? Like if it's to the point where I really do want it, I'm just gonna order it. I'm going Amazon, I'm gonna go wherever, and I'm gonna order it. So it's rare that it's just like I want something that I just was like deferring and pushing it out. And that's what I had to do, and that's why
stop. So go back 15 years before you didn't have it. Did you let people do then?
Not really, no. So and I got homeboys that'll be like, yeah, this chick bought me a PlayStation. This chick got me this, and I got a girl that got me this, and my lady got me this, and I never been that guy. Because I'm I was raised to be that provider, so it was like, no, I buy you stuff. You don't need to buy me nothing. I'm gonna get what I get. And so it's hard, and it's always been hard for me to just get gifts or anything like that. I'm not good at it. I'm not good for when people show up or when people celebrate me. I talked about it, like it makes me itch. It's like I don't know how to receive that attention and that accolades there. And I think a little bit of it, like you were saying about, like, my parents weren't able to make it a lot for a lot of, and I was getting all these awards, and so it became this thing where it's like, I get this award, I get this thing, and it's no big deal, right? And so I think that's a little bit of why I still downplay it now, because it's just like, yeah, it's supposed to happen, right? I'm supposed to do this thing, and so I don't really celebrate a lot of those wins and those accomplishments, because my folks were just like, okay, good job, pat on the back, let's keep rolling, right? On to the next thing. And so it wasn't this huge celebration. And so you never really got a lot of that. We got a lot of stuff on Christmas, and we enjoyed it and everything. But even then, I never was like, oh my God, my mom would make, it would be sometimes in Christmas, it would be to the point where I'm like, this is way too much stuff. Like we would have Christmas. I'm like, man, this is too much stuff. Like, so I know her and my dad would get into it about that. Like, my dad would be like, this is too much stuff too, but my mom wanted to make it real big there. And so I do think it's like, it's really, really hard for me to to take in and get gifts. I mean, me and Leah have this conversation all the time about her love language is gifting. So like, think about that. Her love language is gifting, and me saying, oh, I don't want you to get me anything, or I'm going to downplay it if you do get it for me. Like, that's how hard it is for me to really get it. And so we get into it a little bit about that. And that's really why I did set up that my registry for myself, to just, when if it's something that I just want, but I am not going to get it myself, because it's like, yeah, I don't want it enough to buy it, but I want it. And so I'll throw stuff on there like that. And so that's really what my registry is, or my gift list is. It's stuff that I kind of want, but I'm not going to buy it myself. So, and that's the kind of level of stuff that I can put on there.
Buff, what about you? I think you do better than both of us at accepting or even taking care, self-care and stuff like that. So
I was going to say, I think a lot of what Razi said is kind of like a separate thing to me. Like, letting someone get you gifts versus showing up for you, to me, are like two different things. So I can tell you right now, I don't have no problem accepting gifts. Bring that shit. Bring it. Yeah, I do buy what I want, but case in point, the first time I started a podcast, Politically Entertaining, with Frank, shout out to Frank. Thanks for the Monica and Brandy tickets, by the way. She heard Frank and I discussing it, and I remember she bought me like this recorder or whatever. And she was like, this was before we really knew how we was going to do, like, podcasting hadn't exploded yet. So I wasn't even sure how we were going to do it. And like, I remember I like took it to work and did like my first interview with this guy that worked for C-SPAN or whatever. And I just appreciate the thoughtfulness in a gift. So I have no problem accepting gifts. Bring that. As far as do I allow people to show up for me? I do. I can accept it, but I will never ask. So I become a Debbie Downer on that point, because I'm always in the mind frame nobody's going to show up. So even if I'm getting an award or it's time for me to be celebrated for something, it's hard for me to ask people to come, because I just think people always got other things going on and nobody's going to show up. So to protect myself from that letdown, I don't ask. And whoever shows up, they show up. I'm grateful for that. So I can accept being shown up for, but that's because I can appreciate it, but I'm not going to like ask for it.
where do you think that stems from? I think that's kind of the heart of my question, because I'll speak on me. I agree with everything you said, Buff. I'm not the gift expector. I'm not barely a gift giver. I want to make people around me happy, and if that comes with gifts, then that's what that is, right? Like, it's not like I'm the thoughtful, like, I'm just like, you know what? I know they want this, yada yada yada. And so, because I'm very frugal. But my birthday last year was a perfect example of people showing up for me in a way that I just never expected. And if you saw the video, like, I was completely taken aback. I did not expect it on nowhere near that level, just, or at all, right? And then the more I saw it, the more I took in, the more it just hit me. But Razi, you mentioned like your mom and dad had to work, and so they weren't able to come to all your stuff and all that. Byron, did you have that same thing where we'll have some at school, and it's, there's always a group of people that their parents showed up to everything, and then like, yeah,
Not even just school, man, just playing sports.
I mean, anything. Like, did you expect?
Yeah, just playing sports. I got used to my parents not being there. And like, even so, like, when I started out, I wasn't good enough. I didn't start or whatever. But as I got older, Ferg and I always joke about the championship game we played against one another. But at that age, I was doing pretty well. I remember I got like defensive player of the week for the league and stuff like that. My mom didn't come to games and things like that. My dad didn't really come to games like that. I mean, I can't even blame it on like working. Like, she was a school teacher, so the game was on a Saturday. I just looked at it as, hey, she got other stuff to do or whatever, like that.
This is my thing.
I think over time, man, it's like, I'll tell myself it's not a big deal, but I mean, it matters. It matters. I got an award in New York a few years ago, and I remember Tabitha, they said I can invite a +1. And it was like in the middle of the week. And we was like, man, what are we going to do about Jasmine? So she just wound up staying. And I was like, oh, it's okay. I didn't realize how big of a deal the ceremony was going to be. Like Tracy Ellis Ross was there and shit. I was like, oh, this would have been dope for time. Yeah. And then like I spoke, like a group of us got the award, but they chose me to speak. So luckily they recorded it to where I could show it's on YouTube. So she at least got to see that. But I remember being up there like, what's the girl on The View? Sunny. She was like the MC. I got to meet her. And I was like, damn, this would have been cool. But I tried to downplay it like it was not a big deal. And I do that to myself a lot. I try to downplay it. And then the moment happens, it's like, kind of wish people were here for me. So
you think that's kind of goes with our, everybody gets a trophy generation where we just didn't expect to not win, but it's
to be celebrated.
I mean, like yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because I don't know about y'all, but we got trophies every year. Like I wasn't a part of the trophy era. Like we got one every year at the end of the season. We got a little trophy. Now what we did do though is somebody got an MVP, right? Somebody got a bigger trophy. So everybody got the little one for participating. And then one person to get the MVP one.
Everybody got a trophy, but you knew what the real trophy was. You knew what the real trophy was.
Right.
Okay.
Nah, I mean, I don't know, man. We've kind of veered from your...
Yeah, let's go back to the original question. Like,
so, yes, I will allow people to celebrate me, but my expectation is never that.
So I guess it's
showing up.
Like, I'm not gonna run and hide. So I guess I think we all know how, right? But it's the fact that do you, in a healthy way, proactively allow people to celebrate you or give them a chance? Because sometimes, and maybe that's what it is, giving them a chance because sometimes they don't think
that's
know.
what it is. Yeah.
So you know what's difficult for me? It's accepting compliments. It's hard for me to accept a compliment. And you know what comes to mind? Your vow renewal, right? I what'd you call it? I emceed it or whatever you want to call it. Like I was the pastor for the day, right? And like I remember as soon as I finished, like Portia was one of the first people to come. She was like, "Oh my God, you were a natural. You did so great." And the first thing I said was, "Man, it was 2 lines I was supposed to say that I forgot." She literally, and Portia is never like she's talked to me. She's never met me in person. She was like, and we in the church. She was like, "Will you take the damn compliment?"
Sound about right.
I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But that is just like Rozzy, it's hard for Rozzy to accept gifts and shit like that. It's hard for me to accept compliments.
Yeah. I mean, we're taught, I think in so many things, so many unhealthy things. The gifts might be one version of the compliments. Just being celebrated. My birthday always makes me cringe just because I can't really, it's about me that day, right? The people who choose to celebrate me or say happy birthday, even the happy birthday, something is, I can't say it back. So I'm kind of stuck. Even, thank you for your service. I don't know what to say. I have to like, what do I do with my hands? That's like an ongoing joke with like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know how to respond. But what it came down to was when Z was asking, did your mom and dad show up? And I was like, I didn't expect them to show up. Then I started realizing some of the things they did show up for, especially my dad. But I, like you, Buff, I never expected it. So my dad was there when I left for Afghanistan. When I left Mobile for Afghanistan, he was there when we got back. My dad came to my probate show. My dad showed up. Like, I didn't think, everybody knows, it took a long time. It took a lot for me to graduate college. It took a lot of perseverance, a lot of heartache, a lot of crying, a lot of everything. And I didn't expect anybody to show up for me. And, when they called me like the week or so before, it's like, so what's a good hotel for us to stay at? I'm like, for what? Like, I literally was confused. So like, yeah, Melissa, like they started naming people that were coming down. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm so behind the ball, friends and playing dinners and places. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So after graduation, like, where would she go out there? I didn't have any plans. And then I also realized something about me is I'm a social person, but I don't expect things. So it also allowed me, because I didn't expect my people necessarily to be there, but I would still celebrate, but I would always find another avenue. So it might be if Buff, we're out and you and your mom are celebrating, and if there's a way for me to tag along, I'm gonna tag along. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if Rising and his parents are celebrating, I'm gonna tag along. Like it was, I still found a way to celebrate, but I never gave the people who probably, and I learned that as an adult, is, you know, a lot of things that I did on my own, that I my challenges, or I had to, you know, had to do it all by myself, might have been self-inflicted, because at the same time, I never allowed people to be there for me. I never let them know all the things that were going on with me, to the point, because I've seen my mom and my dad step up for my siblings.
Yeah.
Right.
I
And
think a
so,
little bit
or
of it,
go
I
out of
think
their
a
way
little
for
bit
my
of it
siblings.
was, I think a little bit of it was us being the oldest though. You know,
Yeah, it's
in
definitely
the
that.
group,
It's part, I
because
think.
I never wanted to be the burden, right? I'm like, y'all spend that energy on my sisters, on the younger ones, right? So when it was that time to be able to say, come to my random thing, Sophie does it now. I noticed that a lot of times it's like Sophie would be like, go to Ollie's thing, don't worry about it, I'm good, right? And so if there's a situation where I gotta pick because they're in different spots, Sophie's usually the one to be like, "Don't worry about it. Go to Ollie's thing," and I have to really try to make a conscious decision to say, "Hey, Leah, can you take Ollie here? I'm gonna go with Sophie this time, or whatever," and I'm gonna flip flop. So even though Sophie is just like, "Don't worry about it, I got it," because I don't want to be in that situation that, you know, I was in and we were in, where it's like they're always picking the younger ones because they have to pick the younger ones, because you got to think our you know, because yeah, Kenny and Dion's the same age as Gigi and Gina, right? So when you think about it, it's like a big gap there, and
Yeah, they're all the
so
same
it's
age.
like you
Yeah.
gotta go to them, right? I can get there, I can drive myself, I can make a way, I can hop a ride with somebody. If you can only take one of us somewhere, it's probably going to be the 8-year-old, and so I think that's a little bit of it too.
Think about this. At the high school graduation, I think we didn't know if our family wanted to celebrate with us. We made our own plans. We were so like, we'll be okay. We found a way to celebrate ourselves, enjoy ourselves, and that kind of became our norm. Where, hey, if I can't expect people to do it for me, I'm gonna find my own way to create my own path to make sure I enjoy it. I was never moping around. And I'll leave with this: is neither one of my kids do that, Rozzy. They kind of expect it, to the point where there was an event that TJ had at his school that I couldn't make, and I make it to almost everything. And the last two events were tough, and Z took off, and it made it because we didn't make it to the event before. Excuse me, and I didn't, and I thought I was gonna be able to make it, but I had a meeting push and couldn't make it. And Z was like, she'll do it. She took off, and my kids, that hurt that we were trying to avoid showing or feeling, they show. Their expectation is for us to be there. And I don't know if that's a good thing, that's a bad thing, or whatever it is. Like, hey, mommy and dad ain't gonna be able to be at everything, but you know, in the way that, you know, maybe we could do better at allowing people, or showing people, or telling people the opportunities that they could show up for us. The same way our kids were like, look, like 80% of the stuff, relax.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's, you know, it's sometimes it's one of those things like, well, you know, we've created this world where our kids expect the most. Now, are they gonna, you know, is that letdown gonna be heavy when you can't be at everything? Life really hits and you can't be at everything. But it's polar, you know, we're polar opposites on their expectations versus mine as kids.
Yeah.
Or even as an
Yeah.
adult. Like, my kids expect us to do everything. Our kids expect us to celebrate. My kids expect us to, and not in a materialistic, spoil type way. It's just they know how we feel about them. They're very vocal and affectionate, and they expect us to share those moments with them.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing.
And so I don't know, man. I don't know if we.
With them, I think with them actually telling us that they want us there, it shows a little bit of emotional maturity, right? That we didn't have. We were like, I'm just gonna do it myself. I'm gonna push it all down. You don't need to be there. And I think that's why when we're as adults, we don't tell each other about those opportunities, right? I didn't tell y'all I was getting that award, and so y'all were like, "Why didn't you even tell us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't think it was a big deal, right?" But Brandon ended up showing up, and it was huge for him to be there. Like Leah laughed because like I walked out and they like surprised me in the lobby, and then when I came back in, I was like, "It's Brandon," and she was just like she made fun of me that whole night, talking about it's Brandon. That was like the thing. That was a little going joke. So it's like I do enjoy when folks show up. Like you said, when we were there in Houston, right? It's like you enjoy it, you like it. I think we do have to do a much better job of sharing those opportunities for folks to show up for us there, and then setting that expectation of, hey, I really want you here for this one, right? Like, hey, if you can make it, I really want you to come to this one. I think that's what we've really got to do a much better job of as a friend group in general. It's like, hey, here's one that if you can make it, please come to this one for me.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think but I think it's at the point where it's pressure now, or can become pressure. It's like, well, I don't want to put pressure on Buff because I know I might not be make it to his ceremony, right? And if he makes it to mine, like now I'm a piece of shit. And so, like, if I don't ask him, if he don't ask me to come, if I don't ask him, and he don't ask me to come to his, it's a wash, right? Like it's, it's I don't know.
Yeah, I get you.
That the obligation, because it could be something like, well, I got young kids, and Jasmine damn near grown, so she can watch herself. It's so many different things, and it's I don't know. I don't know what it is, but we got to do a better job, and hopefully our kids, because does Jasmine expect you guys to be there?
I don't even know. Sometimes it's hard to tell if she even cares if we come or not.
Then she expects you to be there, then, because it's such the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, like, oh my God, my parents are here.
I think for her, she only wants us to come if she's like really. She don't want just a participation trophy. You know what I'm saying? If we come, she want to like actually get something. And so I think at the time she's not sure if she's actually going to win something or not. And so I think for her, it's like, hey, it's okay if y'all don't come because I don't even know if I'm going to win. I think that might be her mindset.
Yeah, and that could be true. I mean, it could be true. And like Sky's so young that we were happy with perfect attendance back in, when you're in third grade, perfect attendance, dude. And now it's like, dude, we didn't have perfect attendance first week of school. That goes out the window, so the kids are different. Who we got time for another one? I know we had a lot of stuff going on.
We over an hour now. So okay. Even with the
so let's go ahead and close it on out, fellas.
Contentville, what up? Check us out on the Inspire You on Air app via Contentville. Also, you can subscribe to us on any podcast platform. Also, check us out on YouTube. We are on YouTube. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment on different content that we post there. The only other thing I got besides that is I'm trying to remember this damn note that I wrote. I just wrote the initial. There it is. Okay, it came to me. I didn't think I would like Stranger Things. My wife and daughter have been into it. I actually got Tabitha on it because I saw so much talk about it. I was like, hey, there's a show on Netflix I think you might like. I don't think it's for me, but I think you might like it. She wound up watching it. Her and Jasmine got into it. And then I decided to watch it a couple of weeks ago before this new season started. And it's cool. And what I have appreciated the most is, on the surface, is a show about monsters and not wizards, but they make a lot of Dungeons and Dragons references and shit like that. But what it really deals with, man, is teen trauma. And that's something I didn't expect. So I think it's kind of cool how they deal with it. And for those of you that don't have a clue about Stranger Things, without giving away spoilers, just say the bad guy, he targets teens with weak minds, teens that are essentially giving up on life or have some type of issue, some type of trauma that they've experienced. Those are the type of people that he target and thrive on. And I was just like, wow, I didn't think this show would have a serious modern day topic in it like that. I'm not sure if everybody catches it. I mean, they probably is just there for the action and the monsters, but for me, I thought that was cool.
What season are you on?
I'm caught up. I made it all the way to 5.4.
Man, I think I stopped in season 3. I don't know. I keep saying I'm gonna catch up.
I've got to watch 4. I got to watch season 4, and then, but so I'm through season 3.
4 explains a lot.
I'm one of those people. It's hard for me to.
4 explains everything. Matter of fact,
I think it's hard for me, like when it's a lull or a large gap. Because I think I got into it maybe the end of season 2, right after season 2, or right before season 3 was coming out. I think that's what it was, right before season 3 was coming out. So I binged the first 2 seasons, and then maybe a month or so later caught season 3, and then it took forever for 4 and 5, and I was just
I was about to check out on season 2. I'm like, it's like more the same. And then I was like, all right, let me just try to power through. And as I powered through 2, I was
3 got
I had a lull when I took a couple of days off. I was like, I'm good. Watch the Chappelle Show reruns instead.
Right. So
what else you got?
If you like that, check out Welcome to Derry. So I don't know if you watch the It shows or the It movies. Welcome to Derry.
I've been watching it with T.
Okay, yeah.
They're similar, almost.
They are very similar. So I haven't watched Welcome to Derry yet.
Stranger Things?
Yeah, the show wise. So yeah, check that out. That's another good one. Only thing I want to double down on the Inspire You on Air. Don't forget, we got Sneaker Ball coming up. So make sure you get ready for the Sneaker Ball. I think the tickets are sold out, and unfortunately, I'll be the only one there. The brothers won't make it down this year, so I will represent for Three Brothers No Sense. But if you are looking for tickets, go out, get those, be ready. Check us out. I'm still riding the float. We're on it. We're ready for Mardi Gras because it's coming fast. Mardi Gras is coming fast. Second Liner, there's another one that's out there. We'll be there for the Second Liners ball. So Mardi Gras season is upon us. So I'm just excited for that. And speaking of Second Liners and our sister podcast, I know, Buff, you talked a little bit about Wu from losing his mom last week. And so the funeral was yesterday. I wasn't able to go because it was in the middle of the week, but just hearts, thoughts, prayers out to the brothers of Wuisms, Wu, the family there. And I just hope you guys get through this weekend and, the next few weeks, because those are usually the hardest. So we'll be there for you guys, and we'll be praying for you. That's all I got, Ferg.
Yeah, appreciate that, bruh. I mean, good. Yeah, man, that's hard to follow. We were talking about shows. The show I was talking about, just for those if they want to look at it, is called Turning Point. Hold on, sorry. The Bomb in the Cold War. And so they really go into the invention and the impact of the nuclear bomb and the arms race in the Cold War, and it really, I just remember being a kid and the whole duck and cover, and it was a bunch of propaganda and all that stuff, all these Russians are the enemy, all that, and Russia's back, and Putin really looked up to Stalin and all these great leaders and Gorbachev, and it's scary, and we don't talk about it now, but we're pretty much in the midst of another Cold War. And so I advise anybody to take a look at that if they want to kind of look at the historical aspect and how it plays to today. And I'm pretty sure everybody heard, well, not everybody, but our generation's heard about it and remembers the Cold War, but didn't know all the details. We were too young to understand the geopolitical, climate and everything that was going on and how we got there. They do a really good job of explaining it and giving the backstory. So that's good. As well as there's a new show called The Pit. Have you seen that? I love medical shows, so it talks about, it's like ER, it's almost like a spinoff of ER, residents in the emergency room, and it's so medically accurate. I think the dude used his mom was, I think, a nurse manager for ER, and I think she's one of the consultants of the show, but it really gives that. So far, what I've seen, unless it's accurate and it doesn't give, like some of these medical shows where like there's a bomb in a patient's foot and it's going to go off in two minutes if they lift their leg to it, just unrealistic. It really is a really good show. Almost had a little PTSD. It reminded me why I didn't want to go to med school, and one of those things where it was just you see the turmoil that the doctors are facing, the way they have to look at life and have to desensitize and deal with death and breaking news like that on a daily basis to people. And it's like, I don't think I can live that way. So good show so far. Shout out to all our healthcare professionals. Shout out to Ale and the Mancarellas,
Right.
All of them.
Yeah. Doing their thing. And it's great. People don't give them enough credit, but it's a tough life. It's a tough life. So shout out to you guys. With that being said, happy holidays. Go jump into it. I'm not talking about spending money, but it doesn't cost to be in a holiday spirit. Go put on your holiday jam, your holiday mix. Go get your I'm getting my tin of popcorn. My job sent me a Garrett's popcorn tin. We ate some of that. It's not the same as the cheap $5 one for Christmas. Get my $5 can of popcorn, my butter cookies, my Christmas music, and I might try some eggnog with whiskey in it this year, and get into the holiday spirit. I think we all need it. We all deserve it. Just don't break the bank.
Oh,
Happy
good.
birthday,
Should have
Ferg. Next week will be Ferg's birthday.
Damn
yeah.
it, sir.
So I'm not sure when we will record,
but
yeah.
You can't. You ain't supposed to tell me happy birthday on.
Yeah.
I don't like
on the show.
You don't like being celebrated.
Gotcha, bitch. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I guess one other thing I'll say, man, is we'll be traveling to Texas next week.
Mm.
I just definitely want to wish Tabitha and the rest of my family strength and understanding as we bury a loved one. So we'll be down there in your state, Ferg.
Yeah.
Just not that close to you because Texas is huge, but
yeah,
we'll be down there at least.
Well, all right, bro. Safe travels. Safe travels. Tabitha. My heart goes out to you and your family. Hopefully, you guys make it through this and get all the loving and stuff you need from each other and enjoy the people that are there. With that being said, 3 Brothers No Sense. 6 rules of podcast. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. That might have been 5, maybe 4, who knows. Talk to you next week.